Hello everybody. Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Albion Online. We're just going to be farming away, trying to chip away, make more silver here. You can see right here, oh, I accidentally picked up that rough stone, let's get rid of that. 29.5 million today, okay? And 94,093 starting faction fame. So this is what we're starting off with, and we'll just going to grind away and try to make some money for when we decide to no longer stop playing Albion Online, or maybe we will go for another month. Right now it's 7 days premium left. I purchased with the 20 million silver to buy it before. It's already at 21 million. It fluctuates up and down, but that is what we're going to be doing. And we're just going to come over here and we're just going to do static dungeon farming. So check this tower right here. Not going to run around the whole castle because I already did that this morning. And we're just going to go straight on in. Right over here. I think later on when we get a little bit more people in here, we're also going to show item power and how the item power is recognized within the actual auction house itself. So walk up to the door. You see how I can't see no boss over there. So we're going to go on in. And we're just going to do our circle again and again until we find bosses or chests or other things like that. So that's what we're going to do. And we're just leveling up other gear because I'm using Mage Cowl because I never wear Mage Cowl. We're using Scholar Sandals. So I'm just leveling up other gear right now because I've never actually done it. And we're just going to go from there. Oops. Archer keeps moving around. Now, one thing about the Mage Coil Flame is it doesn't have as big of a range, but it can hit a whole lot of enemies. There's no limit, so. Let's take on the next group already. I don't know what that archer's doing. Hit him with this. Hit him with this. I do like the dot though. This fire breath is actually kind of neat. It's way better than what it used to be with the poison dart. Somebody's message. Somebody messaged inside the Discord. Chain gun is an open beta test. I'm kind of wondering what that is, actually. Might have grabbed a little too many. Those archers and stuff are going to do a lot of damage, but that's okay. We're going to attempt it anyways. Remove this back as best we can. Hit it with that. Hit R key. Now I'm not in my full set, but we're going to do what we can. We'll run around this. Hit him with this and this. I don't think we're going to get them all, but we get a few of them before our cloak goes off. Oh, he means in Cosmeteer. Oh, nice. So, new weapon in Cosmeteer. Again, this is too many. We're just gonna run past it like this. I didn't check the mini-map to see if there was a boss. I don't see any bosses over here. We're gonna go back up just for a quick glance. See if there's any bosses. Next time when you run down, just before you run down the stairs, you always check to see if there's a boss spawn right here. And you can see there is none, and there's no chests. So that's okay to go down one more level. I see no chest over there, but this exit over here is the one I'm going to want to take. It's just so I can get my extra 10% fame and bonus. So we're going to do that now because I want to get my extra 10% fame. Especially if I don't see any bosses. Wreck this guy too. Right. Hey, look, there's a chest. If it's still there, we'll come back for it. If not, that's okay. I'll pass these guys real quick. Just keep going, just keep going. Okay, as long as it's not those bats. Those bats do a ton of silencing. I know my brother always shows it goes down this way, but I found that going this upper path is actually better. At least for me personally. Come over here and then once all that's clear, you don't have to worry about all those other things. And now we are zoned out. And now we have tier 2, just like this. You can see it's just one zone over basically right there. You could technically just run all the way around to the next zone and enter in from this side. Either or works. Now we're going to go check to see if there's a boss over here. They spawn right there. If they do, let's get close enough to see it. There's a boss. Okay, the boss spawns right there. You see there's a boss? I see one. So we're going to run all the way over here. I thought they spawned over here too, but he spawns right there. So we're going to go for that boss. It's always good to double check. Sometimes you leave books behind for whatever reason. There's a chest there, which someone already grabbed. There's a boss right here, and we are going to take him. Which is good to know. So that means they can spawn at any one of these points. I don't know, I don't come to this side very often, so... My roast pork's almost gone. We healed up here a little bit. And do damage. And that's another chest for me. 89,000, not bad. We'll keep going this way, see if there's any other chests that I missed. Looks like I got a bigger pool. Get the R key now, go fast. There's a chest on the other side. But that's over on this side over there. There was a chest here and a chest there. Can't get to those ones quick enough, but we'll try. We're mainly in here farming fame, so whatever we do, we're okay. We're already at 95,000 faction points. We haven't done any faction outposts. We've just been grinding in here. We're already at 29.6 million. So, doing good, doing good. I'm over here talking and I'm muted. So we're going running to the other side, seeing if we can get to that chest before someone else does. There was no boss spawn over there. I know there's a chest over here, or was. We're just trying to make our way to it while clearing, while also still getting fame. So that's what we're doing. Just making our way. We're faction farming. Well, fame farming. We're fame farming. Alright. It's a much bigger group. Go fast. Hit him with fire. Mage Quill is definitely leveled up pretty fast because I only had it at like level 20 when I started yesterday. It's doing pretty good. And left the bag. Now the bigger question, will the chest still be there? Doesn't look like it. Let's grab a little bit more. I know I have an archer. I think I'm just gonna drop him. We're gonna sprint it through. Is the chest still there? The answer is it's gone. It's gone, I can't see it. Just means somebody else is down here. So we'll make our way back this way. We'll go back down. Actually, I should probably go to this side because they're on this side, so. We'll probably want to cross, so after this mob, we'll go across. Let's go fast. This archer's doing damage that I don't want him to do. Get that last guy. Drop these other mobs soon. Alright, we're gonna run across this side, and we'll check this side. Because we already know that there's people on the northwest side, so we're gonna check the northeast, southeast side. Teddy, have you tried faction booming? What does faction booming mean? Oscar Camper Oz. I don't know what faction booming is. Maybe you can explain to me what that means. Or do I have to Google it? Ooh, there's a chest over here. I see the chest, so we're gonna go for it. Bombing? Faction bombing? I can't say that I've tried that before. I don't even know what it is. Faction bombing. Faction bombing. What does that mean? There's a blue chest. $86,000? I don't know what faction bombing means. Let me Google it. Albion Online faction bombing. What does that mean? You group people while capping faction towers? Okay. Yeah, I've gone with a group of people and captured towers many times. Solo without a Zerg. I normally solo faction towers. And then people just come and join me. That's normally what I do. I'm just over here because it's my last 7 days of premium. So I want to make sure I have enough silver to be able to buy another month of premium. As well as I'm leveling up different gear set right now. So I'm not wearing my main. But I can go solo faction outpost, it's not a problem. And the main reason why I'm not going back out right this second is because I'm queued up on the other side, so I have level 2 in here. Because I walked out the other side and came in. So I'm just farming out my 10% extra fame. Well, 5% bonus, because normally I come in with 5. So it's 10 total. But you can see right here, I'm already at 97,000. So I started off the day not that much. And literally I'm just farming XP, farming fame. While showing people the dungeon, showing people where all the chest spawns are. The ones that I know of. I don't know all of them, but I think I'm starting to find most of them. And so there's no chest there, no chest there. So we're going to go down this side, and we're going to walk back through on the inside. We're gonna eat our pork, roast pork, because I can see my roast pork's gone. So I'm having trouble with my life. There's another possible book. Do you make more money soloing statics or group dungeons? It depends. It depends on what you find and what you get. So I'm gonna say on average, when I'm soloing the static tier 4, which I'm in right now, I can make about $1 million an hour. Now, if you solo tier 5 group dungeons with the maps that you buy from the auction house, you can also average $1 million as well. So it's about almost the same. The only difference is when you're running tier 5 group dungeons, you open it up, you have to run all the way out to go and get the map. Or you have to run back to the auction house, right, buy the map, and then you have to open up the map, and then you have to find your group dungeon somewhere out here. The other risk too when you're doing group dungeons is someone can come up behind you and all of a sudden you start fighting, and when you do that, that cuts into your how much you're making per an hour. Because if somebody comes up behind you and tries to actually do the group dungeon, or a fellow member comes in and tries to does that on you, you start making a little bit less. So this right here, actual in the long run, and just on average, because sometimes you make less, right? Sometimes you make less than $1 million an hour. But on average, because sometimes you get big chests, you get legendary chests, sometimes you get, you know, all sorts of different kind of things. Sometimes you get purple chests back to back. So it really depends on the role and the loot on what you get. It also depends on the time of day. Like right now, there's a lot of people that are not on, right? And then during the middle of the day, like probably like 3 to 4 hours from now, there'll be even less people in here. And the less people in here, the more chances I have of getting this chest, this chest, this chest, and all the chests. And if you're in here and there's nobody else in here, and you're grabbing all the chests, your average jumps up. You can all of a sudden start making 1.5 million an hour. You can start making 2 million an hour. But on average, that's why I say the average is $1 million an hour, because it fluctuates. Depends on the time of day you're playing and when you're playing. So if you're always playing at the peak times, like right after everybody finishes work, your average is going to drop significantly. You might only make 300,000 an hour. You might only make 500,000 an hour. It really depends on when you're playing. So that's where a lot of people, they don't explain that. Just, oh, I make all this money. I'm telling you real numbers based, because I've been doing this for years and years. And you can see I'm already at 29.6 million. And that's just from the silver I picked up. So I already picked up at least 100,000 in silver just from it being in here. And we've only been here for 22 minutes. So you have to take all of that into account. Plus whatever I picked up and I'll sell at the auction house, this includes into the money I make. And the nice thing about doing it in where I'm at in Marwar Gorge is Fort Sterling is literally right here, and I'm one zone away. I'm right here. So all I have to do is walk out, go to the auction house, sell, and come right back. And I'm already back in the action, and I'm getting fame. Now the main reason why I do this is not mainly for the silver. I do it for the faction points, and I do it for the combat fame. So I started off with just 13 million, just under 13 million, about 12 million in combat points. I'm already at 443,000 combat fame. Yeah, you can. But you spend the time running around, Oscar Camper Oz. And a lot of people don't take that time into account. It could take you 10 to 15 minutes just to find a dungeon. And in 10 to 15 minutes, I've only been here 23 minutes now, based on the recording, the time of this recording. 23 minutes. I'm up 443,000 Comet fame. I'm up 100,000, at least 100,000 silver. And whatever I've picked up. Right? Which honestly is a decent amount. Like this right here, this is 200k. You don't always get these, but you can. These drop pretty often in here. 200k for one item, right? And each one of these things that you pick up and you go through. And again, see, it's still busy this morning. The chests are not there. There's other people in here farming. So my average silver per an hour is dropped. But the nice thing about doing it in here is it's very relaxing. I don't risk somebody coming up. I don't risk somebody coming and killing me in the black zone, or if I'm in the black zone, or other things like that. I don't risk losing all my gear. I get to play with the gear I like. And I'm not even playing with my full set. Like, this is my main set. I'm playing with a different set to level it up. That's up to you. It's how you want to play the game. Some people never buy tier 8.4, right? They only like to go to the black zones and they don't want to wear the tier 8.4, but it's up to you and how you want to play the game. I like to wear the highest tier gear that I can afford, right? I can't afford masterwork items on all of them, so I don't have masterpiece items in all my gear. This is just a tier 8.3 masterpiece. But masterpiece is like taking it to the next level, so it's kind of almost like a tier 8.4 when it's a masterpiece piece. So if you get a tier 8.4 masterpiece piece, not just excellent, that's technically tier 8.5. But again, it's how you want to play the game. If you have enough money and there's nothing else you want to buy, or you don't have a goal like to buy like a mammoth mount or something like that, and your goal is just to have really cool high level gear, then spend it on what you want. That's my own personal opinion. And it also depends on what type of content you like to do. So if you like the solo group dungeons, go ahead and do that. I'm doing this because the other nice thing, the reason why I do this is at any point, I can come in here. So if I was in a group dungeon, I have to have this feeling that I have to complete the group dungeon. We're here in the static dungeon. If I want to log out right here, I can come over here and I can log out right here and I won't feel bad at all. I can log out anywhere in the static dungeon and it doesn't matter to me. Where if I'm in a group dungeon and I'm doing it, I can't log out. I'm dedicated for a full at least 30 minutes to do that group dungeon. Where the static dungeon, like if you're busy or you're on your phone or you're doing something, you know, somewhere else, and you only have just a few minutes, like you only have 20 minutes or 30 minutes to do something, I can quickly just run into the static dungeon, clear out a bunch of mobs, and then log out, and then log back in whenever I want. And see right here's a chest, and I just circle through around. Have you tried HCES? What does HCES mean? I'm going to say I don't know what that is. HCE. I don't know what HCEB means. Sorry if I don't know all the abbreviations. My cloak's gonna pop for sure. They interrupted too many abilities. And those archers are doing too much damage. But I got most of them. Yes, I've done hardcore expeditions. The thing about hardcore expeditions is you can't go in by yourself. You have to go in with other people. And because of that, it cuts on your fame gain and it cuts on how much silver you get. Yes, but you have to go in with a group. There's no way to queue by yourself. And you have to spend money for the map, and then you have to organize a group to go do it. But yeah, it usually is a decent amount of money for hardcore expeditions. But again, you got to dedicate time for it, right? So you remember how I was talking about group dungeons? If you only have like 10, 15 minutes to play, what are you going to do in 10 to 15 minutes that's worth it? Here, I can come right into this dungeon right here, the static dungeon. I can fight these guys right like this. And then when I want to leave, all I got to do is just log out right here. And there's no problem. I'm not abandoning anybody. I'm not causing any issues or pain. I don't have to organize a group. I don't have to worry if, you know, any of those things. And I can literally just come over here and just say I want to be done. I can log out on a boss. So right here, my inventory is mainly full. I'm still queued up for the other side. So I'm going to walk out this side because if I hit the A key, I'll pop up from the other side. And here, I'm just going to walk out. And we're going to check to see if this boss up here has spawned. So I'm going to mount up real quick. We're gonna run straight at the door. There's no boss up there. Normally when you run straight at the door, you can see if there's a boss spawned at the top. We're gonna check the towers on the inside over here because I have invincibility. So there's no chest or boss there. And there most likely won't be any chest or boss here, but I usually like to stop right here because my invincibility will stop. Clear out these mobs, get more faction points. Or fame points, I'm sorry, is what I really wanted to say. I'm at 99,000 faction points just from doing this. And I just boss and chest farm because that's what I enjoy doing. And I'm just showing, like, for people that have a little bit of time, because not everybody does. What are some good PvE weapon lines that are good for solo group content except Nature Staff? So Curse Staff is really good. It's a really good question. Curse Staff and the Curse Staff line is a very good, like, Shadow Caller, a lot of people call out. But also make sure you level up also the base 3 skills so that your Shadow Caller is more powerful, as well as Axe. The axe skill is also very, very powerful. One-handed axe with a shield. Battle axe. This one's a very common one as well, because it has a whole lot of bleed, area effect bleed, as well as you have lifesteal and everything else. Those are the two that you see really big. You also see arcane staff and a bunch of other things as well in solo content, but the three biggest ones is axe, nature staff, and Curse Staff. You can do it with just about any weapon, honestly, if you have the right armor and the right everything else. But it really just depends on what does it really fast. Yeah, Shadow Caller and Battle Axes are very common. See, like if this person has a Battle Axe, he's running around. And you'll commonly see the most gear, they'll have Spectre Hood, and they'll have a Helion jacket, and then whatever boots they decide. Tenacity ones are good for PvP and or dropping a threat. So everybody chooses whatever they want to wear. We're gonna go out now. We're gonna go sell. And the main reason why I did Nature Staff is because when I first started the game, I always was just Nature Staff. And then I hyper-focused it. So if you come over here, you look. I have 115 in Nature Staff, right? I also have level 100 in all the other Nature Staffs. And the reason why I do that is because this is worth 0.02 points per a level. So every 5 levels equals 1 item power. So over here, when I leveled up these two other staffs, this is 20 item power, this is 20 item power. That's an extra 40 item power. This is extra 10 item power because it's only 0.1. For every 10 levels, you get 1 item power. So this is 10, 20, 30, 40. So basically, I have an extra 80 item power for all my staffs. And then whatever my item power level for this is. And that increases a whole nother level. Because every 100 item power equals the next tier item. So when you really think about it, if I'm wearing a tier 8.4, this is actually a tier 8.5, almost, because 80 points. Excellent also takes you up another 80 points, so it's 160 points. If this was a masterpiece, it would be an extra 100 points, which would take you up to the next tier. There, let me go explain that right now. One hand holy, I have 110 spec. Yeah, so you already have the concept and they're doing really good. Holy Staff is really great at healing, PvP healing, saving people on that burst healing. Where Nature Staff is more of the long-term ticking healing over time is how I do my healing, so with rejuvenation and then pushing it out. And the main reason why I use Nature Staff, a lot of people always are asking or see why, is because of the E key. The E key has multiple abilities. If you put 3 thorns right here, the very bottom one, any enemy hit with 3 or more thorn charges active on them, they get rooted and it deals 648 damage. This thorns and rooting is not limited to a certain amount of targets. It's whoever has the amount of thorns on them. So if you have 15 guys and all 15 guys have thorns on them and you hit the E key, you hit all 15 guys for 648 damage and you root them. This is great for PvP. The other side effect as well for Circle of Life, and the main reason I use it, is also the rejuvenation charges. If they have 3 rejuvenation charges on your team, you heal them for 727. Yeah, this nature staff is the only nature staff with the E key that does damage. It doesn't just heal, it does damage as well. And this is why I use it. I don't use it for the healing. So the main reason why you see me using Circle of Life so much is I put 3 roots on all the enemy guys, and then I use rejuvenation, and then I use Circle of Life, and I hit all of them for 648 magic damage. I also root them in place, and you walk away so that they're not hitting you with melee attacks. So you're actually saving some of your life. So this has many purposes. And this is why people don't understand why I use the nature staff, but I'm trying to explain it. The E key is the only E key for the nature staff that does damage. The other reason why I use the nature staff as well is for my thorns. What people don't read and don't see right here is thorn charges are consumed by your normal attacks. It's at the very bottom and deals an additional 202 magic damage. So when I put thorns on people, I'm attacking them with a normal attack. So I'm hitting them for the extra damage that I hit with my normal attack. Plus, I'm doing 202 magic damage every hit with my normal attack. And this stacks together with Elder's Torch, or the torch I'm using. I have 47% increased attack speed. One-handed weapons already attack really fast. But when you increase the attack speed by 47%, I'm hitting you super fast, right? I'm hitting you almost 3 times per every second and a half. So 3 times, that's an extra 600 something magic damage for the thorns, on top of whatever I'm hitting you with my normal attack. Plus, I'm casting abilities on you. So with this build right here, I've out-damaged curse staffs, I've out-damaged axes, and people look at me like, how? How are you doing it? Well, I'm doing it because I have all these abilities that do damage. Circle of Life does damage. My Bramble Seed does damage. It does an initial damage, and it does a secondary damage. So it hits 312 on the first hit, a 937 on the second hit, and it interrupts. And then I'm putting down Thorns, which is a damage over time tick area effect, plus I'm hitting you with a normal attack. So I'm stacking all this damage on top of you, and it's all little tiny itty bitty damage, so you don't notice a big huge burst of damage, but you notice your health just starts dropping really fast. That's my build, and that's what people don't understand. So that's why I'm trying to explain it. So people look at the nature staff like, oh, he's just a nature staff wielder. There's a lot of depth that goes behind all the abilities and how you use them. And that's why also another thing is you don't see people use nature because nobody understands exactly what Circle of Life does. You have to stack it together either with thorns or you have to stack it together with rejuvenation. So I have a bunch of PvP videos as well, and I call out rejuvenation charges because you can put 3 charges on somebody. Well, if you put 3 charges on somebody on your team, and then you use this W key right here, which pushes out all the charges onto your teammates, and then you heal them all, you do this massive big heal for 727 health. Because you see right here, 3 charges equals 700. You heal everybody on your team for 727, plus they have 3 rejuvenation stacks on them, so they're healing 236 health every 8 seconds, up to 3 times, so they're healing 600 something health, right? So you literally heal your team up to full really, really quickly in this way. And it costs you very little mana because you're pushing out 3 abilities, and I'm not spamming mana, right? So mana is a huge thing in PvP. If you're out of mana, your team goes down. Where here, I can heal really big, but the downside of it is if my team's not close, you only heal 1 person, right? And then you have a decent cooldown, 16-second cooldown. So Holy Staff is better at burst healing. Nature Staff, if used right, this one-handed Nature Staff is used right, is really good group healing if played correctly. Hopefully that explains my build a little bit. Alright, let's sell all this off. And then we'll explain item power here. because I don't think I've ever explained that to, well, I've explained it in a few live streams, but I've never actually concentrated and explained item power, what is item power, and how does it affect quality and everything else. And we'll open the bags of silver right here. All right, so inside here, you said you were Holy Staff, Oscar Camper Oz. And what a lot of people, I'm sure people, excuse me, a lot of people look at this, right? And you see normal right here. So a normal staff is 757 item power, right? And when you go to the next tier, or normal, it just goes, and that's good. You actually want to do quality as normal. So quality is normal. It's 857 item power. So every tier up is only 100 extra item power, right? If as long as it's the same quality. So if I were to come over here and go to a tier 5 weapon, right? And leave it at enhancement 0, and it's still normal, this is 860 item power. Where if I go back to tier 4, enhancement 1, 857. So it's about 3 item power less for normal. But once you get better quality, so once I say, for example, a good, right? A good tier 4 is 877 item power. And those may actually have been a different staff, I'm wondering. Okay, because this is because this is expert. Let me do a whole list. I don't want a great holy stuff, or maybe let's just do great. That way you can see the exact same. Great holy. There we go. That's a better. So if I go back to tier 4, right? This would be the same. So 755 item power right here. And then if I were to go to enhancement 1, this should be 855 item power. Where if I now go to tier 5, enhancement 0, I guess there's a 2 item power difference. I guess they changed that by just 2 item power. It used to be identical, but you can see it's just 2 item power difference for enhancement 5 with good quality. When you go to outstanding, outstanding is going to take you up 20 points. Excellent is going to take you up another 20 points, 897, and then masterpiece will take you up to the full 100. So your extra 100. So it takes you up to the next tier. So every tier up is 100 item power. So what a lot of people don't understand is you got to look at the cost for each one of these. So if you go to a tier 4 item, right? And you say it's enhancement level 1 and you say you want to do it just excellent. This is 14,841. If you take just a plain tier 5 with no enhancement levels, is this cheaper or more expensive? Now normally these are more expensive, and so you can save yourself a little bit of money by just buying a tier 4.1. Yeah, that's what a lot of people didn't know. So quality plays a huge role, and that's why the cost is so different. So at minimum, I always try to buy at least excellent, so I get the extra 80 item power. And masterpiece, you see right here, this is even better. So you can see right here, a masterpiece is even cheaper than a tier 4. Excellent. A tier 4.1 is cheaper, and you get 937 item power compared to if you go to a tier 4.1. Excellent. It's not as much item power. So it's cheaper to buy a tier 5 one, masterpiece, with no enhancement levels, and you still get more item power. So if you really want to play the market and you're really trying to understand it, quality plays a huge bonus in how much item power you buy. So that's why I always change this to a minimum excellent, but I check the market depending on how much money I have to spend, because you see outstanding, 20 less item power for outstanding to excellent, but the price range is huge. Like if you only have a tiny bit right here, 6,000 for 875 compared to excellent, which is 895, but the price is almost more than doubled. Yes, that's why the quality is such an important piece that people just don't pay attention to, and it's literally 20 extra item power for every single one. So this literally is, if you do normal, that's not that great. 20 extra item power for good, 20 more extra item power on top of that for outstanding, so that's 40 extra item power, 60 extra item power for excellent, 100 basically for masterpiece. And that's why masterpiece is so much more expensive. But if you have the money, right, it is worth it to buy the masterpiece for those extra item power if you're really going for it. And then just make sure you look at the enhancement levels, because the enhancement levels also play effect too. So what people don't understand is that every single item actually has a tier 5. I mean 8 point, or if it's tier 5s, it would be 8.5. So it goes to 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4, and then the quality can take it to 8.5 if it's a masterpiece. Hopefully that explains it a little bit better, so that you understand that the quality of the item on top of the enhancement level plays a huge role in how much item power you have. And then it goes back to my explanation for skills and leveling up at least the base 3 skills. So a lot of people, I know I have a skill 1 on that, and you probably may or may not have watched the Oscar Camper Oz, but Holy Staff, a lot of people don't realize and understand the 0.2 item power per the 3 base skills, where these ones are only 0.1. Every 5 levels equal 1 item power. 5 levels item power, 5 levels equal 1 item power. This is every 10 levels equal 1 item power. So if you get these to level 100, this is 20 extra item power. 20 extra item power. 20 extra item power for level 100. That's 60 extra item power. You're halfway to a next tier. Then this is 10 extra item power, 10 extra item power, 10 extra power. This would be 10, 20, 30. This would be a whole 90 extra item power if you have all these at level 100. That's almost a whole nother tier level higher of damage that you can do for holy. And then if you had whatever your main one is on top of that. So you literally, if you level up all of the stabs, which is what I did here for nature, if you look at my nature, they're all level 100, right? 20, 40, 10, 20, 30, 40. So I have an extra 80 item power, almost 100 item power for my nature staff. That's almost a whole nother tier just because I leveled all these to level 100. And it makes a huge difference on so many different layers that people sometimes they just don't understand, or they don't see it. And that's why my nature staff is so powerful. It's not just because my nature staff is level high. I leveled all the nature staffs, which increases my item power. So I'm hyper focused in just one thing. The same thing applies to people when you see them soloing with axe. You see them soloing with a curse staff. It's very likely they leveled up all of their skills. The ones that are really good. Like some people don't do that and they just only have one, weapon that they leveled up. But you're missing out on an extra 80 item power if you didn't level up all your staffs to 100. Which is a whole very close to the very next tier. I'm just running around right now. I'm going on the outside. I'll make sure to capture that and put it in a regular video, so post it out. Now another thing that got asked is me as well is auto-respec. This one right here. I never recommend turning this on unless you're filthy, absolutely filthy rich. Okay, auto-respec doesn't mean what you think it means when you read it and look at it. So I click this little eye right here and it explains it. Now, I know the words are very, very tiny, so I'm going to explain it on my own without trying to explain it here as best I can. But what it means is every single time you get fame, 20% of it goes to combat fame credits. Where does the other 80% go? It goes up into the void. You never use it, you never have it. So if you turn auto-respect on, what it starts doing is it starts converting the extra 80% that you gain per fame you gain from silver into combat fame. So if you turn auto-respect on, again, I don't ever recommend you turning this on unless you're filthy rich. Every point of fame you get converts silver to combat fame. So I don't recommend turning this on, and then again, unless you're filthy, filthy rich, and or whatever it is. And even then, I still don't recommend turning it on because the amount of fame you get. I know there's a chest right there and a boss, so we're gonna run over there and get that chest as best we can. So don't turn auto-respect on is my recommendation, but if you do, just know your silver count is going to drop significantly. We're gonna run over here, we're gonna see if we can drop some of the threat. If not, that's fine, we're just gonna fight it. Yes, you're losing silver because of auto-respect, exactly. Don't turn it on. I don't recommend it. Yeah, you'll randomly, literally, every time you gain fame, so you see right here, I got 3,000. So if you come over here, right, every time you gain fame, okay, so let me give you this example. I'm getting 3,900 fame, right? Out of 3,900 fame, 20% of it automatically goes to combat fame, okay? The other 80% doesn't go anywhere, disappears. If you turn auto-respect on, what it does is the other 80% of fame that you're supposed to get to combat fame is supposed to go in. It gets converted in from silver to combat fame. So you're not randomly losing silver. You're converting the extra 80% of what 3,906 fame is into combat fame from silver. And it's point for point. 1 point of combat fame is 1 point of silver. So if you gained 3,900 fame and you turn auto-respect on, the 80% of 3,906 gets converted from silver straight to fame. So you're spending, I can't even do math right now, but 20% of minus 20% of 396, and that's how much every time you gain fame gets converted into combat fame. So again, I do not recommend turning this on unless you want your silver to just be converted. You'll just start losing money like crazy. So I highly recommend unchecking it. Unless you know what it is and you specifically want to do that, go right ahead. You'll lose a ton, millions and millions of silver really quick. But your combat fame will jump up really fast. Does that make sense? To help you a little bit with auto-respect? Taking damage, that's why it's not letting me. Yeah. All I know is every time I turn that on, like there was one time where I turned it on and I literally lost like 20 million in silver really quickly because I'm over here just farming away and wasn't looking, and I was like, what? And that's what auto-respect does. My focus, I use it on farming. So I have another video, a live stream, focusing on explaining farming and how I use all my focus points. There should be a live stream saying farming, how to do farming, Albion online. I already did it in the morning. That's the first thing I log in, and I use all my focus points just for farming. So you see right here, I'm a corn farmer. So I have level 86 in corn. And then I was going to make roast pork, so I'm also roast So I'm level 51 in roast, so I can make my own roast. And I have butcher level as well. What I'm mainly trying to focus on is because I redid pigs again so I can get cows, so I can get cow milk, so I can make my own roast pork. And I explain it all in that live stream. But farming animals, just like everything in the beginning in the game, costs millions and millions. And the beginning part of it, you're losing money. And because I was losing money, I actually stopped animal farming and just went straight corn. But now that I'm, just wanted to make my own roast pork eventually, so I can get my own here. I can already make my own roast pork, but I want to be fully self-sufficient so I can get cows. Once I get cows, and I put cows and I put pigs on there, and then I can start making my own roast pork. It makes money now that I'm this high level in it, but the beginning, all it was just a money pit, spending millions and millions of money on just farming alone for the seeds, for the plots. Super expensive. Let's see. 99.809 combat, faction fame. Move the archer away and come fight him over here. Still grab the archer. I craft plate boots. I don't lose silver because I only craft with focus. That's true. Crafting plate boots, yeah. My main focus when I first started the game is I started doing stone. I was hammer. I quickly learned that stone doesn't make that much money. So that's when I started to do other gathering skills. But yeah, crafting can make a lot of money. But I say just craft what you want to do and craft what you like to do. I went for roast pork because this is what I use all the time. And I'm constantly using roast pork all the time. So I figured, well, if I'm going to constantly use a consumable, I might as well be able to craft it myself. Yeah. The crafting takes a long time. Just like anything in the game. I haven't even reached 100 cord, and I've been doing it for a very, very long time. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna have to eat a potion. Just like anything in Albion Online, the more time you spend, the more proficient you become. Yeah, I purposely have it because of the gear I'm wearing. So that I can walk down. So the endgame cape right here. I have it set for cape at 8.3 or 8.4. I don't even know if it's 8.4, but I think maybe it's 8.4 Cape Thetford. So if I wanted to do damage, because I'm down here farming, it's a 200,000 silver bill to die once. Where here, I can use the Undead Cape and make it down and a lot less risk. So I can mindlessly play, because when I'm talking or streaming or doing things like this, sometimes it pops, right? And it's just to save me. So instead of spending an extra 200k in repair bills, because I have all tier 8.3 or 4 higher gear, that's a 200,000 silver bill. So it's better to not die than to actually die. The other thing about the Undead Cape too is it lets you get to areas too quicker when fighting certain mobs. No, it drops. You can still take damage, but they stop attacking you in full. It drops all aggro. So mobs, when you're invisible with the Undead Cape, mobs stop attacking you, but players could still hit you. So you still can take damage. Yeah. So what it does right here is just like this. The effect is escape the rebel undead, turning you invisible for 6 seconds. You can still use abilities without revealing yourself, and decreases all damage you deal and healing cast by 50%. The thing about Invis, though, if you use an ability, I'm pretty sure if you use an ability, attacking these abilities or taking damage reveals you. So that's the difference between Undead Cape and Invisibility Potion. Is you use Invisibility Potion, you can't use any abilities. Or with the Undead Cape, even though it pops, you can still use abilities. The point is for mana regeneration. It's a great question. You see your energy regeneration, your max energy? The reason why you get a bigger one is so that you have more energy. So, if you notice, I spam abilities and do a lot of things. And if I wasn't wearing cloth boots and have this on, because I normally wear this set, right? Elder's Guardian boots, and I go big. And if you don't have enough mana regeneration, you can't do a lot. So exactly, yeah. 4.3 does the same timer, but a 4.3 doesn't have more max energy, or energy regeneration is much lower. So the reason why you get a bigger cape is for the mana regeneration, which is actually very huge. It makes a big difference, and you'll notice it if you wear between an 8.3 or 8.4 compared to a 4.3. Yes, I have that as well. That is on my set. You still lose mana. And when or every time you're sitting there waiting for mana to regen, that's downtime. And I don't like downtime because that cuts into my fame gaining, cuts into my silver gaining. So with this build right here, and with the Undead Cape at the higher level, I can constantly go and I never have to stop. I'm stopping to explain because I'm streaming and everything, but when I'm normally playing without streaming and just keep going, I can constantly cast all my abilities, I can spam them as fast as I want, and I don't ever run out of mana, normally. And yes, I'm auto-attacking and I'm also gaining mana from that as well. So downtime is lower, as well as making sure I'm doing the max amount of damage. See, I can spam my abilities non-stop, and I don't run out of mana. I don't have mana issues. And I'm doing as much damage as I want, and I'm not worried about my mana. Or if you watch some other people, and they only have like a tier 4.3, if they were to spam their abilities as much as that I do, they'll run out of mana real quick. Even with the attack of attacking like this and doing all these different things. What's up, legendary gamers? That's burst damage. Fire Staff will definitely do more burst damage in the beginning. Long-term damage, Nature Staff. If you land, you see this ability right here, Q. If you land all of your thorns, and the person stays in the thorns like this, and you're whacking them with normal attacks, the Nature Staff can do more damage. But again, you have to land, and that person has to sit in the thorns. If they're not sitting in the thorns, the Fire Staff will definitely do more damage. So with people running around and doing all the things, the Fire Staff will out-damage the Nature Staff anytime. Thorns only work great, like you see all these thorns, on non-player character mobs. So, and if you watch some of my PvP videos, you'll notice that I come over here and I normally put the thorns right in front of somebody and then they walk into it or stuff like that. But even then, they'll walk in and they'll quickly walk out. And when you're losing damage per second every single time they do that. So it really depends on the situation. But that's a great question, Oscar Camper. For PvP, Nature Staff will not do anywhere near the same amount of damage as a Fire Staff. Now, as far as Legendary Gamers guessing good, what about me? I'm doing better. No, I'm doing not bad. Oh, somebody went over here and messaged me. I need to check this out real quick. What did they say? Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm kind of just grinding out here. I'm just grinding fame. I'm leveling up gear I don't ever wear. Because I've never leveled one of the base 3 cloth helmets. And so specifically leveling Elder's Mage Coil. I didn't know how much cheaper it was. So when it comes to Black Zone and other things to do with my brothers, I always notice one of my brother always wears the Mage Coil. Because it's so cheap. And it does so much more damage with its flame. So, literally my Mage Coil right here, level 57. I started around level 20. So I'm already level 57 with Mage Coil. And then the boots right down here. I'm almost level 100 with this one. I want to max out this to level 100, this to level 100, this to level 100. And I want to max out this to 100, 100, 100. I took a look at all of the cloth robes, and the only one that I want to take to level 100 would probably be Cleric Robe. I do want to get these ones to level 100 too, just for the item power, 20 extra item power. But I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush to do that. But my main set, Oscar Camper and Legendary Gamers, is... I know I already got shields up. Is leather. Is a leather chest. You see most of them are... All the base ones are level 100 and minimum. And I'm leveling up these ones. And then my plate boots. So most of my plate boots right down here. Level 100, level 100, level 100. And these ones. And this one's already level 100 as well. But I need to start leveling all these to 100. Yeah. But I'm mainly leather coil. Oh, and then I also have my leather coil. So I know I did leather jackets. So I also have leather coils right here. I have the base 3 at level 100 already. And then I have my Spectre Hood already 100. I was getting this one to 100. I almost had it at 100. I stopped at 97. But literally it's really cheap if I just take this and go 100 for 374 combat fame. I could take this 100 if I wanted to. I was going to do this one for PvP. Because the next thing I was doing for weapons, because I already have my nature stuff all the way up, is I started to level up gauntlets. I wanted to try to level up the gauntlets and see. So I started leveling up the base 3 gauntlets. So that's just what I'm doing. Just leveling up stuff. That's why I'm in here. So I'm not wearing my main set. I'm leveling up different gear on purpose. Because I want to be able to do different content and be a little bit on the cheaper side. So I'm not just a dedicated healer. So in case I need to dismount people from horses in the Black Zone or do other things like that, I need to be able to have a different set to do damage and other things. Be a little bit more versatile. Now there's a chest right there, you see it? I'm going to run to this chest unless this guy's going to follow me. I'm going to just sprint past. drop that aggro so that he gets it. We're gonna see if we can drop some aggro here like this. Now we're gonna probably pop our cape right here. We're gonna just stay right here. Oh, that's not good. We'll just solo this guy. We'll take the damage. I don't want to play aggro for anything else right now while I'm here. Okay, now we're gonna get our life back. Because there's 2 archers here and all those wizards are high level, I'm actually gonna put my main set on, just so I can take this. Yeah, Holy Staff doesn't do great damage anymore because they changed Smite. In Legend of Cabers, if you want to play, you just have to get on. But I know we're on different time zones. So now that I'm wearing my main set, this shouldn't be a problem at all. And my main set is like this. So I go big right here. I'm taking literally 50% less damage on everything, while still tanking and doing damage. And I hit my R key now and hit my D key. And it's all just about sustain and doing constant damage. These archers do a ton of damage. We'll hit the R key now again. I'm worried about these archers and these wizards. Hit the E key, do damage to both those guys. The wizards and the archers are doing a ton of damage. I'm gonna try to take them down. So that's why I put on my main set, so that I could take the whole group in one shot instead of having to reset it. Put back on my leveling suit now. Why are archers so scary? Because you can't dodge their normal attack. So undead archers, you just can't dodge their normal attack. Yeah. So that's why archers are so scary. Because they just do so much damage. And then when they're green, you see how they're growing green? They do so much more. They do twice as much damage. So if you have 2 green archers on you in here and you're soloing, they have a high chance of taking you down. Like, you see these melee guys? They do abilities to, like, you see right here, he does that ability. As long as you dodge it, no big deal. But the archer, every shot he's shooting, he's doing damage to you. And it's huge. And the only reason why my life doesn't drop super fast is because I have lifesteal, right? If I didn't have lifesteal, and I'm taking damage from an archer, the only damage I'm taking is from the archer. And you see how he does that frost shot? Archers also have interrupt ability. So when I'm casting abilities, they can interrupt my abilities. And if I'm not doing damage with my abilities, I'm taking damage. And if I'm taking damage, I have a chance of dying. And so when you have 2 archers that can hit you all the time, they can interrupt my abilities, so my abilities are not doing damage. I'm not gaining life, so you have a chance of actually dying. Yeah, it does. It feels like they do. They really do. That's why archers are just so scary. And I tend to just leave double archers like that to have other people have a little bit more problems. Archers just do a ton of damage. And here I'm actually going to pull them backwards, so we're going to walk backwards a little bit. Hit them all with flame. Walk backwards a little bit. Pull them out of that mess. Wizards also do a lot of damage too. Because the same thing, a wizard has an auto attack that always hits you. And then they have huge area effect abilities. Easier here. I'm already at 103k faction fame. I'm already at 13,672,000. And I'm not even trying hard. I'm spending more time explaining things. So I've literally gotten an extra 300,000 combat fame, right? In another half an hour. And it's only been about half an hour. So every 30 minutes, I get around 300,000 combat fame. I get about 3 to 4,000 in faction warfare points. I'm already up another 0.7, so another 100,000 in silver. So, yeah. And I'm not trying super hard to get silver. My main focus is to get fame and combat fame. If I was trying to get it, that's where my average I can get around 100 million if I'm just looking. But without it, I'm just averaging a few 100,000 silver every now and then. What is perm looking like in west? What does that mean? What is perm looking like in west? Last car, camper Oz. What does that mean? Premium? Oh, what is premium? Looks like that. 21 million. Yeah. 21 million. For a month. So I could purchase another month of premium if I really wanted to. Because East is still a new server. So when I first started, this was all the way down to like 3 million and even 4 million. West has been around for a lot longer. And it's just about how the economy's going. Is my assumption. I could be wrong, right? Maybe Legendary Gamers has a better. Yeah. If you buy it in bulk, definitely worth cheaper. Hey, look, somebody left a purple chest. They left 6,000 in there. We'll take it. So it's just a time of day. People are down here grabbing chests. The other side, there's a higher chance that there's not going to be anything over here because people are down here. But normally if I just go back and forth like this, I can grab all the bosses, I can grab all the chests. It's just a time of day. So there's no boss there. I don't see any chests down there. But these mobs are worth grabbing. So yeah, just tons and tons of interrupts with the archers and the wizards and everything. Let's get rid of that wizard. Why not try a tier 5 static? Because I got to run out all the way over there. So if I go all the way out to a tier 5 static, right? I gotta go look for one and I gotta run out to there. I stayed with Fort Sterling because I was leveling up iron and metal, right? But if I come all the way, so Rustedale is tier 4, tier 4. There's a bunch of other tier 4s and other things. And for the same reason, not just running out, it gets camped a lot, right? We're here at any time when I'm done. Sup, Death Bomb? Tier 5 is on the black zone if I'm sure. This tier 6 or tier 5. Or maybe, yeah, there are probably tier 5s in black zone. Unless you're wearing the same type of gear, you can't do it as fast. So your time to ratio, time to profit is a lot less. Sure, are you on? You can join me, Legendary Gamers. I don't mind. So here, you notice I can jump out at any time. I can run back to Fort Sterling here. I can sell everything in my inventory, right? I don't have to carry a lot. And I can come right back out. And I can start doing, I'm back in the action. And I'm already starting to gain fame and everything else. So it's all about time to play, time to effort. Like if I only had 30, 20 minutes to play, I could easily just log in real quick, go to my Gorge, do it, and then come back. Yeah, there's probably a static. It's probably not the same type. It's probably what you're thinking. The yellow, yellow, yellow. It's probably this one right here. There's a static right here. But it's always heavily farmed by another faction, right? And like here's another tier 5 by Thetford. Fort Sterling just normally has these castles. But again, I would have to run all the way down here, run over here, and if I do a tier 5 while faction flagged, I'm going to encounter other players. And although PvP and everything's fun, I'm not here. I'm trying to relax and just do it, you know, gather fame, gather faction points. But I have to worry about the combat or fighting people. If I want to do combat and fight people, I'll go do faction warfare. I'll go do it specifically. But if I'm going to be farming silver and chests, I don't want to risk that, right? And the other thing that you're also risking too when you do tier 5, Oscar Camper Oz, is if you PvP and a group of people, like a group of 5 people or a group of 6 people or whatever, a huge group comes and kills me, I lose 200,000 silver. And I lose time it takes to get all the way back in again because I died. So it's all about time to effort. Yes, I have a chance to make more money, but my average silver per hour will drop significantly because I'm either A, running away from players, B, I'm fighting players and defeating them or they're defeating me, and then the time it takes to get back in, plus the time it takes me to run to the area, and the time it takes me to run back to sell. So you take all that into account, time to effort, you're actually making less silver. It can be more fun. You could have the chance to get higher tier gear because it's tier 5, but your time to effort is a lot less when you take all that time into account. Plus, maybe I don't have a whole hour to play, right? I don't have an hour to go play to run all the way to a tier 5 static dungeon and do it. Yes, I have that too. So right here, I have Spectre boots. So I can literally wear the Spectre boots and I can run straight to a chest. But that's not my purpose. My purpose is to come down here and farm Comet Fame. I'm trying to level this up. I'm trying to level this up. So skipping right to chests is a way to make silver. And there are times I do that. Choppy Wappy is on. I invited you to party. Choppy Wappy is Legendary Gamers, for those that do not know. I'll send you another invite, Choppy Wappy. There you are. And I'm already here in Mawa Gorge. I'll wait on the outside for you. Ish. I'll just start fighting things in here. And when you're on the map, I'll come out and get you. Now, Choppy Wappy is new to the server. I think Choppy Wappy plays on the East server, but 346,000 fame. I don't know what I'm at. 168 million. You died? Where did you die at? You're rage quitting on the West server? Albion Online definitely has the method and ability to do that. Especially if you go to like a Blackstone or something and lose all your gear. Oh, I don't have any roast pork going. Just ate some roast pork. Anytime I drop down or die, it's usually because I don't have roast pork going. I'll run back. We'll see if Choppy Wappy is going to be here soon. Are you still coming? I wish they had it so that they could tell you what zone you are in. But they don't. So I can't find you. I don't even know where you are. It doesn't even show you up on the map. There you go. I see you now. There's the red dot. There's Choppy Wappy. Let's go out and let's get Choppy Wappy in. Yes, roast pork helps that much. Because it's all based on the damage you do, right? So literally without roast pork, I would not be able to solo this. I would not be able to do this. And you can do roast chicken, you can do roast goose. It doesn't have to be roast pork. Roast pork is just the most effective because it gives the most amount of lifesteal. But you see how my life doesn't drop down? It's all because of the roast pork. That's what makes this build. Choppy Wappy forgot the flag, so... Yep, go ahead and faction flag. Wait for Choppy Wappy to come back. And like, same thing for this guy right here. When you look at him, I bet you he has... I can click on him. I bet you he has roast pork. See how he has roast pork? So even though he's using Shadow Collar, and he's doing damage, and it looks like he's probably leveling up his Mage Coil too. And he's leveling up another set. So he's doing the same thing like me, leveling up different items. But you notice right here, he's got roast pork on. Roast pork helps that much. It really does. Okay, Choppy Wappy has to restart. High ping. Delete all this other marketplace stuff. We're at 29.8 million. Uh-oh. Did I lose connection? I'll invite Choppy Woppy back. Alright. It's like my stream disconnected-ish for a second there. Got Choppy Woppy back in. Let's run back to the city. Sell off this. We'll wait for Choppy Woppy to come out. Or Choppy Woppy is on the way. Perfect. Let's go on the inside. There's a much higher chance of getting more stuff on the inside. And you can see right here, Choppy Woppy. Oh, what sword is this? Carving sword. We're gonna go on the inside. We're gonna go over here. The outside's already heavily farmed. Can we see more solo group dungeon content in the future? I'd love to see you. Sure! Oz Car Camper Oz. I will make sure to do that. Definitely do want to fight more bosses and get that content out to you. Again, I'm just over here grinding away. I'm trying to make sure I have enough for premium as well as to buy. So my next goal was to get my nature staff to level 120. And to do that, that would be an extra 8 million, I believe. So if I come over here and I click this, to get this 120, I gotta get 8 million extra silver plus 25 million in combat fame. So I'm trying to work to that too. We'll still have enough to buy premium again. Whatever I decide to do. But yeah, I'm glad you requested more group dungeon bosses. I'll make sure to do that. I am close. Shouldn't take me that long. The main reason why it's going a little bit slower is because every item you wear benefits to your combat fame. So if I was wearing these ones that are already level 100, I'd get a little bit more combat fame faster. But I'm purposely trying to level Mage Coil and Grandmaster Scholar Sandals. So because of that, it's cutting down on how much combat fame I'm actually gaining. It does. That's why I haven't never done it. It does just, it's just about looking cool. But it is an extra, I think it's just an extra, I don't even remember how much item power it is. Just an extra something item power. I think it's like 8 or something. 6. No, 8. 10. It's an extra 10 item power to go there. So, 10 extra item power, still worth it. I just never done it. It's just super expensive to do it. That's why I never did it. I mean, you should at least take one weapon, your favorite weapon, to 120. So, this is my favorite weapon. I've tried to switch to many other weapons. Just hasn't. The damage to ratio that you can do with the nature staff, as long as the thorns are on them, is huge. I don't want to mess with those archers. Mess with these ones instead. Get all in this way, like that. Make sure we're hitting all these guys this way. I might actually have to cloak here. because they're doing just too much damage. Yeah, see those archers? They do too much damage. We'll switch to our main set right here so that we can actually clear this. Oh, you didn't want to stand in that, that's for sure. We're gonna go big here real quick. Hit the R key now, hit the D key. Hit the R key again. I don't want to grab that secondary ghoul right this second, so I let him walk past. Let me get those guys. No, you're fine. You have low latency, and you're also only in tier 4 gear. You have 36 farm plots? Definitely making good money. You also had, I think you mentioned you had a whole lot of million. 120 something million, maybe? So yeah. I think you're doing pretty good, Oscar Camper. And Legend of Gamers, just from doing all that, I guarantee 400k already in total fame. So, good amount of fame. Fire on all those guys. Yeah, I sold all my skins for silver. I was one of the founders, and then I just sold all the skins. Let's grab these two guys. See, there's no archers in the group. Worth the fame. About 40 million. Let's see. So it's 1.35 with that. If I were to take all this off. Yeah, it's about 40 million. A little over 40 million. I don't know. I sold it a long time ago if I could sell it. Let's see. Is it under appearance? Those are emotes. Original player ring. So I still have my original player ring. That's one of the founder skins right here. It's the original player. I don't know if any of these other things. I don't know. What would it look like? Again, I haven't looked at founder skins or anything like that. Those weren't a big deal to me. Yeah, skins are just a way to look cool. Orange boss? Oh, orange boss in the middle. Let's go to the middle. Let's go to the middle. Can you make it, Shoppy Woppy? I'm over here not even watching and paying attention. Alright, I'm in the middle. If you have to die to get here, die to get here. I was over here looking at skins. Here's an orange boss in the middle. Alright. Take on this orange boss real quick. Okay, let's pull the sides. So you touch the chest. You pull these two wizards in. Get rid of the wizards. And then the chest will be ours. Are there any red bosses? Red bosses spawn like once a week. Many. I found many red bosses. Many, many, many. And I have some on streams and recordings. And I solo them too. So the question was, have you found any red bosses? And I'm like, yeah. I have some on my live streams, in my videos. And there's even some inside the videos for the boss fights, my YouTube videos, with boss compilations. Maybe just one. Because the red bosses only spawn about once a week. If you're lucky, you can find 2 in a week. But most people will go and fight them. But the spawn rate is about once or twice a week from what I've seen. I think it's like actually on like a 6-day rotation. You know, I wanted to do that too, Oscar Camper Oz. So I should definitely do that. My hard drive was actually getting filled up with too many of my recordings, so I had to... I was reaching over 2 terabytes of recordings, so I was like, I better start removing some stuff. But that's a great idea, Oscar Camper Oz. I will definitely start compiling a list of bosses. What I really wanted to do was get a recording of every single boss, a boss type, and then show the recording for each one, regardless of what chest they. First, I was trying to do it so that only like purple chests and other things. How much islands you have? Legendary gamers. I have 5 islands. I have 3 that are my own, and then 2 I have access to through other players. So I have access to 5 islands. 3 are the only islands that I own. It gets to a point where how much time do you want to spend just farming? "19 Royals, 19 Brilliant." Oh, he was asking Oscar Kemper us. Nice. Thanks, legendary gamers. Let's see what else. Let's see what Choppy Woppy's on. Oh wait, wrong one. Stats. 497. Almost 100,000 in fame. I'm already at 30 million in silver. Getting close to 14 million in combat fame. And 1.6k in faction points. So, pretty good. I don't mind. I don't mind at all, Choppy Woppy. Anybody that's watching me stream that wants to join in and get power leveled like this, I don't mind at all. I am on the US West server, and you do have to come to Fort Sterling. But other than that, you're welcome to come do exactly what Choppy Woppy's doing. Where's this guy going? Come back here. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So that you add, all that silver adds up, right? So the silver I pick up from the ground is just from the silver I pick up alone. And all that adds into profit. Because I'm constantly fighting. Like, yeah, you can go to bigger zones and you can fight mobs and you can get chests. But it's all about time to effort, time to profit, right? Yep. They sure do. So Oscar Camper is saying the shiny mods give 2k silver. And I was like, yep. That's how I'm making some of my silver. And I'm splitting it in half right now with Choppy Woppy because Choppy Woppy's in the group. But normally when you're soloing, you make a good amount of silver, a good amount of fame. Plus I'm getting faction points, and these are going to buy me chests, which are going to get me books, which also gives me more silver. So all that takes into account with how much you're making. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say is it may not seem like it, right? I'm not in a high level area, but time to profit here is huge because I'm just constantly fighting, and I'm getting silver for every mob I fight. So I'm getting a trifecta level amount of stuff. Because if I go to Mist content, I can't be faction flagged. I go to Black Zone, I can't be faction flagged. So here, I have to show that as well, right? This is just a day, 100,000 and 100.7k faction warfare. This is just from yesterday and today alone, right? And I take this into the account of how much time I spent from time to effort. Because this is going to equal at least 10 faction chests. 10, maybe 11 faction chests. And that's extra silver as well. It does. The stream does have a delay there, legendary gamers. I could tune it out to super low latency, but then the quality of the video would go down. And I haven't tested that to change to super low latency yet. I should probably test the stream on that. I'm still new to streaming. I haven't even done it for a whole month yet. So, and I'm still also new to YouTube as well. Well, I'm new to streaming, period. I'm new to anything online like this anyways. One of my coworkers was all telling me about YouTube and all these other things, and I was like, okay, fine. I wanted to do it back in the early 2000s. I just never did. I never started. So I'm starting now. I do, because I read them when they come in, so I try to respond to the chats as soon as I can. But there is a delay. I know there's a delay. Yeah, when you're in the black zone, stream snipers can hunt you down. If I go in the black zone, I would totally like hide. I would hide my map to make it a little bit better, a little bit harder. Plus, I would consider if I even wanted to stream in the black zone. And then if I did stream in the black zone, I wouldn't be wearing anything that I would want to take with me. Not willing to lose. That's why I'm leveling up Mage Coil. Because they're cheap, but they can do a lot. They can stream sniping in yellow zone too. In fact, I think people have even tried. But if you watch some of my other streams, or I have another one where people are trying to gank me and stuff, I have on video of me ganking people back. Because of how my build is. It's true. I stay with Fort Sterling because it's just the one I know and what I've been with, and not just know. So to begin with, when I first started playing the game, Fort Sterling was always the least. And when I say the least, if you come over here and I'll show it here real quick. Once we get to it. And I know I explained it in other streams and other videos as well, but if you come over here, right, and you open up Faction Warfare, and you come over here and you click on Personal Faction Warfare Overview, and you come over here and you click on Details, you see this right here, 112%, 112.53. When I first started, this was like at 150%. Now, granted, there's a lot more people in Fort Sterling now, but this percent is basically how many people are on the team or how well they're doing. So if you faction flag at Martlock, you'll get 134% more point gain for faction points. Fort Sterling, to begin with, when I first started, this was like 150, almost 200% more faction point gain, which to me was worth so much more, because if you get so much more faction points, you can buy books and other things. So that's the whole reason why I stayed with Fort Sterling for so long. Is normally people don't queue for Fort Sterling when I first started. Obviously, it's changed throughout the years. So Martlock's pretty good and Thetford's pretty good. In fact, Thetford was where I first started. But when I first started, Thetford was always at 100%, just like how Bridgewatch is, and never moved because everyone was queuing for Thetford. So I switched over to Fort Sterling with my brothers because the gain was just so much higher. And then I just never switched. I never changed. Because all my islands are here in Fort Sterling. My islands were in Thetford, but I moved them to Fort Sterling. And I don't want to move my islands again to take everything down and move everything. So I just stayed in Fort Sterling. Yes, that is true. It's because they have all the different things, right? They have wood, they have cloth, and they have quick access to iron as well. So all the heavy crafting skills that you want, such as wood, cloth, and iron, Thetford has it. So it's great for gatherers. Very nice. So you switched to east. So you started on west, or at least when the servers first came out. I was card camper, because I think the servers first started out in west, and there were just global servers. There's an archer in there. It's probably gonna cloak actually. I didn't get the archer. I didn't get him. We'll make our way back to the middle-ish. Let's see, what is your fame at now, Choppy Woppy? 596 fame. We need another roast fork here. Let's cut these guys down this way. If you played at the start of East, you would have so much more money from doing. Yeah, people were gathering slow. You don't know what to do in West? Choppy Woppy? To be honest, I don't know what to do in West. Well, that's up to you. You can gather or whatnot. I mean, if you have very low ping, doing content in West would make it very difficult, right? Like PvP content or other things like that. I mean, high ping, if you had high ping is what I mean. That's what I'm doing here. I am trying to teach best I can. This is just what I do. I just grind away. Just gaining silver and gaining fame. You have a book here too. Don't forget this book. And there's two archers here. Oh, I missed the flame. It's okay. Get rid of these archers. 13.9 million. Or across the other side, see if there's any chests on the other sides. Islands in Brazilian is money wasting for me. Yeah, they've released a lot of new content that I haven't touched. My brother says he really likes the farming and whatever in Brazilian or whatever the other new content islands. It's all about what you want to do, right? What you enjoy doing. So in here, I can literally, so that's what I was doing mostly yesterday. I was watching a bunch of movies on Netflix. I just mindlessly walking around here and just grinding. That way I keep it interesting, right? Or for myself, so I don't get bored. While still gaining fame, still gaining some silver. And there's no real high stress doing this. It's just, I can mindlessly just do this and watch a movie or something. I don't have to really give it a lot of focus. There's no bosses there. This is group here. We're just gonna go down. Don't forget to hit the like button on the video if you do like my content. Helps out people see my content more. Helps out the channel. Somebody just got this chest. See how there's a chest? It despawns in less than 5 minutes. So in less than 3 minutes, someone just got that chest. Because there's people down here, right? So it really is time of day. And or day. What is today? Is this Thursday? Double check that. Yeah, it's Thursday. Thursday, Friday. Like Thursday, Friday, it's better to go do group content, right? And open up maps and do faction warfare. Because this place will be swamped. But yesterday during Wednesday, this place was like empty during the day. And you can make tons and tons of finding chests and boss. Oh, was I talking when I was muted? I apologize. I'm already at level 60, Mage Coil. Where's my boots at? 87. Let's grab this second group too. Oh, that's stunning. Right, nothing there. There's all these people. And then this chest is already where the spot's cleared out. What's beginner luck? You getting all the books? And the books drop here very commonly. You can get a ton of books. I normally get a ton of books too when I'm soloing down here. Yeah, the books drop a lot. That's what people don't realize because I'm always selling them off. But when you solo here in this tier 4 area, you get a lot of these books. And each one of these books is worth, right? 14 some odd million. I mean, 14 something thousand. And it all includes into the price. So yeah, there are a lot of books drop. So when I'm soloing, I get tons and tons of books. I mean, at least I walk out of here each time with 5 books, normally. And then you sell them off, right? And that's an extra... That's an extra... I don't know, 80, 75K-ish. Sometimes I get 100,000 in books alone. That's the whole benefit of coming down here is you're grinding fame in all the different levels. But yeah, down here, books drop all the time. All the time. Let's see what you're at now. 697K. My faction fame's at 108K. Yeah, but no. Then you'll be stronger to be able to do whatever content you want on the West server. So... Alright, let's go here. We'll do a back circle in the back. Grab these guys too, they're melee. Making my way down. Oh, bunch of rats. Alright, legendary gamers. Thanks for joining in. You ended with 727k in fame. You're very close to 1,000,000. You're welcome, legendary gamers. You have a good evening. Have a good night. Alright, let's hit the recall button out. Let's go to the top. We'll check the middle. Check the middle for bosses. Mount up. Check the middle for a boss. There's no boss there. We'll run on the outside real quick. Check this tower over here. No boss, no chests. That's okay. We're gonna grab these mobs over here. We're gonna grab this mob here. Just more fame. That was Choppy Woppy logging out, I think. Make our way up here. We're gonna check this tower now. These guys are all melee, so this is a good grab. This is a good grab, and these are too. Let's grab those last two bunch. If it lets me. It did. I don't want to get another ad right this second, so we're just going to fight it over here. We'll kite them over here for real quick. There we go. Ooh, see one of these? Extra 200k. Remember I just got one not too long ago? Well, now I have another one. Check this other tower over here. Here is a boss there, so we're gonna go take him. Grab this free loot. There's this boss right here, so we're gonna take this boss. Just drop whatever aggro we can. There we go. Perfect. Let's grab these mobs. Let's grab these mobs. The ice mage is always freezing. Where are boots at? 88. Nice. Got this other loots. Heyo, meet again. Welcome back. Surreal Ramadan. How are you doing today? Waiting a bit, mount up. We'll sell all this off. Go from there. I do have to actually start getting off soon. I'm sorry that you just joined in now. So the stream, I was literally talking about all different things. Oscar Camper Oz came in. Had Legendary Gamers, played with him a little bit. So I explained item power in the beginning of this. I'm probably gonna pull it out and make it into a video. Just for people to be able to have that information so they don't have to search all the way through the live stream just to get it. But yeah, it was a pretty good stream. $237,000. Those things ever raised in price. How's your day going so far, Surreal Ramadan? Not good at all. In game, yeah, I just played. Oh, I'm sad to hear. I'm sorry to hear things in reality is not so good for you. Hope things get better with whatever your situation is, some way, soon. I think everybody around the world is having troubles here and there with all different things that are going on right now. Well, hopefully things get better for people at some point. We're ending with 110k faction fame right here. 30.1 million in silver. It'll be more once the actual market sells off all this stuff, so when we log back in, it'll be more. Thank you. I hope things go better for me too. Sorry you're coming in on the tail end of this, but thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please feel free to smash the like button. It helps me out a ton, helps out the channel a lot, helps people to get to see this content, helps YouTube algorithm. If you would like, or if you don't, whatever you prefer, please go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. Helps me out, helps me learn. I learn from whatever comments people put in. If you haven't already subscribed and you want to subscribe, feel free to subscribe to get notified of whenever I stream or post. If you don't want to subscribe, that's okay as well. Come back once a week, once a month, check out what content I have, and or come back daily because I'm streaming daily. Again, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Saro Ramadan, for checking out, coming in, playing a little bit, and chatting. Thank you all again, and you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I will be streaming again later today. I just have a bunch of other things that I need to take care of in reality, but I'll be back a little bit later today playing some more. Again, thank you all for being here, and you all have a wonderful rest of your day.